Okay, isn't that cool? You can see the reflection and the reflection and the reflection. Okay, so when I lived in Montana, I started getting sober around the age of, it's the Saturn return, so 27, 28, 1 year in Saturn. And I worked. I picked up a job at a motel, and I worked at the homeless shelter, and that's how I kept myself occupied. I didn't know anybody, so it was kind of easy to keep to myself, and I didn't really have any space of my own except a bed and a locker. And so one of the things that I did was cleaning. I did cleaning projects for sleeping privileges, so I could, and this also right around this time in my life is when my back started acting up. I previously, like 10 years previously, had gotten into an accident, an ATV accident, and I pretty much from that time until when I started getting sober was pretty high on drugs. And my theory is that because all that time when I was living the high life, and I mean I was getting wasted and I lived for it, I was so high that my back wasn't hurting. And then all of a sudden when I started getting sober, my back started seizing up. And so right around this time I started getting sober, staying in this homeless shelter, and actually a lot of it I really loved. I sometimes crave living there. Like I wish that I could go back or work there or live there. Just gave me a purpose, and I liked a lot of the people, and I had a sense of community that I had never really experienced. And so nonetheless, I was working in the kitchen in the morning every day. I would wake up about 4 o'clock and set up the kitchen, and we would get things donated from the different places, different foods, and I'd set up all the foods. And this woman one day started telling people that I was giving her permission to go into the kitchen and to take things, and then I was hooking her up. And there was another woman that was, she would get mad at me. Her locker was below mine, and her bed then was also below mine. And she'd get mad at me. I farted once, and she said I was doing it to her on purpose. I would like have to I worked at a motel, so I'd wake up in the morning and like 7, by 7, 6, after I was done feeding the shelter, I would go to work, and she'd be sitting there and she wouldn't let me get into my locker. Or, she called me a snitch. This one guy at that place followed me around calling me a cunt. It was a trip. It was definitely like a very volatile situation, but there was also something very holy about it, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I think maybe just getting sober is a good thing, but yeah, I can't complain. I have some good stories.